Hello guys, this is Movies, and today I got something a bit different. For a long time now, people have been asking me how do I get into the lore and how do I understand the Warcraft universe, so I thought I would do a video giving you all the different ways and some tips on how you can get started, or if you're already advanced, on how to improve your knowledge. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Warcraft as a franchise started back in 1994, and ever since then it has just been expanding. This can be really overwhelming to new players as there is so much to catch up to, and there are many different games, books, comics, characters, so this can be quite the endeavor. Most people interested in Warcraft are already World of Warcraft players, so my number one tip is to just play the previous games. You have Warcraft 1, 2 versions of Warcraft 2, and 2 versions of Warcraft 3. This will get you up to speed to the events that are explained in the Warcraft movie and events leading up to World of Warcraft. However, you can actually go two ways about this. If you have never played the Warcraft RTS games, you're just bound to learn a lot of new stuff and connect the dots to get a full picture, so this is a really good thing if you're a new player. But I can also suggest replaying the RTS games if you have already played World of Warcraft and you have read a few books, as then you will kinda have a good grasp and knowledge of the lore, and once you play the game again, you will realize all of the things you might not have seen in your first playthrough or that you just looked over. Second way to learn more is to just play World of Warcraft and make sure to read all of the quest text. Not only will this give you an understanding of all of the events that happened during the lifespan of the MMORPG, but it will also give you some hints on other bits of lore that have happened in the past. To be honest, until the past 2 expansions, Blizzard has done a pretty bad job on actually implementing the story itself into the game, but recently it has gotten a bit better. But even before, if you really read all of the quest text, you will still get a good understanding. Now, most people don't really feel like reading, and I can understand that. A lot of people just don't have the immersion or the time to dedicate, but there are some ways to make this a bit more interesting. For example, you can download an add-on called Storyline, which animates the quest text and makes it a bit more engaging, and even though it doesn't really change anything in the game, it can actually get you a bit more immersed. The third thing is to read all of the books. This is already advanced. I mean, just by playing the game, you can get a good grasp on the story. But if you want to kinda step it up, if you want to learn more, and for example, learn in detail how the War of the Ancients happened, instead of just hearing a little short story about it, you can check out the books. There is a lot of written WoW lore in many different formats. You have the novels, the comics, the manga, the short stories on the website, and also the Warcraft magazine that they used to release. The novels are your best source as they explain stories and sometimes big crucial events, like really big stories. The downside is they can be a bit overwhelming to new players as there are so many novels and people just don't know how to start with them. Luckily, I've already made a video on this topic. I have a chronological list that explains all of the novels in a short description and also tells you in which order you should read all of the books, so that can help you out if you don't really know what's going on. Next to that, you have the comics and the manga. They are important, but not as important as the novels. Usually, comics are either minor stories or longer stories in a series format, such as the Ashbringer or the Sunwell trilogy and a lot of the other stories. And lastly, there are short stories that you can find on the World of Warcraft website. All of them are free and are usually expansion related, for example Mists of Pandaria short stories or Warlords of Draenor short stories. So if you have already played the game, you can get a better understanding of the storyline and kind of fill in the gaps. Alright, those are the 3 big things: previous games, quests, and books. Just with them, you can get a good grasp on the lore and enjoy the game a lot more. However, there are also side things you can do. The first thing are the videos, and they can be separated into two different groups, the official and the fan-made videos. The official videos are the ones made by Blizzard, and you can find most of them on their official YouTube channel. You have the story of Emperor Xiao Hao, Lords of War, the Vratian storyline, and also the new upcoming things for Legion, and that serves the same purpose as the short stories on the website to just fill in the gaps if you already know what's going on. Next to that, you have the fan-made videos. Obviously, this video you're watching is a fan-made video, and I have an entire channel that explains stories of characters, the events, the universe itself, how magic works in the Warcraft universe. I also have a bunch of RP guides on lore and the races and the classes. And also I have a Q&A series, so you can submit your own questions and I can try to answer them. Apart from my channel, to not make this as a self-advertisement, there are also other YouTube channels that focus on the Warcraft lore, and YouTube is a great source if you're new to the entire Warcraft universe, or if you already know some stuff and you just want to improve your knowledge. And the last thing is the internet itself. There are websites such as Wowpedia and WoWWiki, which are one of the richest wikis out there, and they're just filled with so much great information. So if you don't really have much to do, you can just browse those websites and you can learn so much. Aside from that, you also have websites such as Blizzard Watch and their Know Your Lore series, where they explain a lot of different Warcraft stories. And lastly, there is the Warcraft lore subreddit and the different forums. Usually there are many people with a lot of lore experience that hang out in those subreddits and forums, so if you don't understand something or if you have any questions, you can just check those out. Alright, that is all I have for this video. Now do leave your suggestions for future videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel and keeps all the videos going. And thanks a lot for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and see you next time.